Geronimo. So here we are. I have the collar is fully made, so it's going to be folded into, and so that's going to be the length of the collar. And I have started on the actual knit. I started with those stitch markers, but they actually were a little bit tight, and so they were really rubbing against my needles, and I didn't like that feeling, and they were making everything feel a bit tight. So I decided to swap for small hairbands, and that's been working a bit better. So it's quite a look, but I used the red to mark the back, the purple and pink are the sleeves, and then the green is the front. And now I need to decide when I want my first stripe. Oh, hi Milo. I need to decide how soon I want my first stripe to come, so how high I want it to come. So I'm going to look at a few inspirations and see what I feel like and make a decision on that. So I've been progressing quite well. So now I need to do 22 repetition of one time a normal loop and then one with the increases, which is why I have an arrow. So I'm going to do one increase, and do 22 times that. And I always get mixed up between the make one left and make one right, so I have a little drawing for myself, and whether it's front or back loop as well. Hey, so here we are. I have actually finally made some progress. It felt like the start was very slow, but now I'm getting the hang of things. Also now I have one row with the increase, one row that's just knitting, so I'm starting to go a little bit faster with all this. Also, actually what happened is that now I don't need to use the magic loop anymore. I have a big enough work that I can just knit without the loop, and so it goes faster because I don't need to constantly move my magic loop around. Actually, about the magic loop, I've discovered that the technique I was doing actually exists, so I kind of tailored something for myself to make it work, and it's called a traveling magic loop. So I felt really fancy to see that I had rediscovered something that actually exists. So after starting with that loop, you might have seen it in my first vlog, I then did, practiced a little bit, got comfortable with the knitting, and then I thought, well, I probably have done enough to rewatch a video about the magic loop and now see if I understand what's happening. I watched, I understood, and I gave it a try. But when I gave it a try, what I noticed is that I find that the magic loop pulls quite a bit on your stitches, and I didn't love that. So I went back to my method, which is the traveling magic loop. So sadly today I have been a little bit unwell, and it's the reason why I've actually... So, in every negative thing there's positive. I have been a bit unwell, but this has meant that actually I've been knitting a lot. So I had been a bit stuck on the neckline since a few days, and I felt a bit intimidated to start the body, at least the top of the body for this sweater. But here I was like, I'm too unwell to sew or to do anything, when you don't feel great, don't feel like reading. And so actually, I know it's not much knitting for someone who's used to knit, but for me, this is quite a decent amount of knitting, I find. So yeah, to every cloud there's a silver lining. At least I got a lot of knitting done. For people who are like me and you have a bit too many hobbies, how do you get all of them done? So I would say sewing is my number one, and sewing takes the most time. I don't have time to paint anymore because between the sewing, the knitting, the YouTubing, I like to run also from time to time. It's like, I don't have time to do all of this. So hard. What are your top tips? If you have multiple hobbies, how do you keep a little space for everyone? Because what I find is that I tend to... So for example, here I'm into knitting because I see that this jumper is moving along nicely. So I'm going to get super motivated and knit. But then I'm not going to do the others, and all of my other projects are going to get left out. So how do you work on everything at once? Or do I just need to accept that I'm going to have a painting phase and knitting phase, and that everyone has kind of like their one time to shine? So I'll go and try this on in the mirror, but I think I'm soon reaching the point where I'm gonna want my first stripe, It's hard to tell. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to try it on, but I kind of want my first stripe to start here, and so I'll also have to play it by ear for the width of those stripes. I mean the width, no, for the heights of those stripes, because I do want kind of like a thick blue stripe and then a thin mustard stripe and then medium thick white. I need to think about it, but I'll play it by ear once we reach there. But I think I'm soon at the length where it's nice and maybe the stripe could arrive. So I'll go and like try this on in the mirror and see what it's like and see if we're ready to add a stripe, which is very exciting. Milo, what do you say? Are you excited? Are you excited? Milo. Started the blue. This is literally so exciting because this really all of a sudden turned from a white, you know, what looked like a white jumper into a marine jumper. Oh my god, I love it. So beautiful. Look at this. I love it. I'm so excited. In the end, I decided I needed to change color because we ran, oh, I know it looks like a lot, but we ran out of yarn. So sorry, I'm watching YouTube at the same time, as you can see. We ran out of yarn, so I was like, well, that's a sign, because I was like, oh, do I do one more row or not? And I was like, well, we're not doing one more row. We are changing. Destiny said it was time to change. What I'm thinking of doing, but I will see how it looks. But my plan is to do 6 rows of blue and 2 rows of mustard, and then 8 rows or 10 rows of white in between. Maybe 8, maybe 6 to 8. Well, I'll have to see in real life, I mean, as it goes. But I'm so excited. I mean, look at this. This is so beautiful. I'm so happy. Okay, I'll stop gushing, but it's just, you know, when it shows like I'm really a beginner, and look where we are. It's so exciting. Oh no, so good. So I'm really going to try that every clip isn't just me saying how excited I am, but I am very excited because there was so many new things for me before I started this jumper, and I was a bit worried. And you know, if you think, okay, no, you have to make a raglan sleeve jumper. Like, I don't even understand how the sleeves are going to be constructed. I totally know what raglan is because I come from sewing, but I don't fully get what's going to happen with the knitting. But I have really decided not to worry. I am doing step 1. So the first night I started vlogging, in the previous vlog, I was really overwhelmed. I was like, oh, it feels like a lot. Then I was like, you don't need to do a whole jumper. Tonight you are doing a neckline, a ribbing. So it's like, okay, fine. And here I am also like, if I think ahead, I feel worried. But actually, the only thing where I had to kind of like really look at what was happening was the increasing, because I had to put all of those stitch markers here in all the right places. It was something I obviously had never done. So I was just, you know, taking the time to figure that out. And then I had to figure out what was the make one left, make one right. And now that I understand this, it's also better. Which am I? So I need to increase, and I need to increase on the right. So it's still that way. I still need to look it up every time. And so if you think I have to make a whole jumper, it can feel like a lot. But if you think one step at the time and not to worry about the next step before you are through with this first step and where you are at now, then it's much more manageable. And that's really, you know, what I hope you can feel reassured, and maybe feel reassured that you can do something you are feeling scared of at the moment, but just start at the start, and then we'll see afterwards, is my advice for this. And yeah, I'm so excited. I'm gonna re-show this once more. Look at this. Yay, I love it. This is so beautiful. Yay. I can't wait. And with the mustard, it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be amazing. Okay, I'm gonna keep being excited, but I'm gonna leave you guys and not keep being excited with you guys. Milo and I are gonna keep knitting for a while. Yay! Dramatic gasp when I realized that one of my stitch markers gone, so they all go by 2 because I have 3 stitches between each to do the raglan. And here, dun, 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 where's the other one? So obviously moment of panic, but at the same time it felt there. It matters because this one that has the extra stitch market on it means that it's the end of my round, but actually it's not so difficult because I look at here, I take 3 stitches and it should be there. So I'll be able to manage, but I really had a moment of like, oh my God. Also, I said I would do, it's like it loses so much. It's a mix of Milo and a mix of this yarn. This yarn is really losing a lot of fiber, but I said, sorry, the light is very bad, but it's the evening. I said I would do 6 rows, and I think I'm going to do more than 6. I really want big stripes. So I might keep going until they're massive. I mean, I'll see how I feel, but definitely, it's definitely going to be more than what I originally said. I'll keep you updated. Okay, so I have a couple of issues here. I have done 4 rows of the white, but here when I arrived for doing this fourth row, I realized I was missing 2 stitches and I had really long strands here, and I did 2 increases. I mean, I really think I've like dropped something funny here, so I have done an extra 2 increases, but not a 4th one. I mean, it was just a bit of a mess. I thought, okay, I saved it and it's fine, I'll keep it like this. But then I found this. And the issue is that I have no clue what's happening and how I've done it. There's clearly something funny here, as you can see. And I don't understand what I've done. And I think at this point, I mean, even though 1 row takes me 15 minutes at the moment, so those 4 rows are 1 hour of work. But I think what I'm going to do is try to find on YouTube how I can maybe thread something through this last row here to save it, and then I'll frog the last 4 rows. I think I was going to be fine with just the 1 mistake, but now that I see this, and I think this is the front, yeah, it's the front as well, so no, I think 4 rows you can still go back, so I'll go back. Also because as far as I can tell, all the rest so far is perfect, so it just seems so silly to have a mistake just here. So okay, we're gonna figure out how to save it so it doesn't frog too far, and also I don't want to lose stitches or anything. I'm gonna look this up and then we're gonna frog those 4 rows. Let's go. So YouTube said to frog this safely, you thread something through the right hand of every V. And what I'm going to thread is actually my longer cable, which is going to then fit on the needle. So hopefully afterwards I can just re-screw the needles on and it should all be threaded right. And I can just literally pick up from where I was without having to restart anything from scratch. So wish me luck. So I'm going to go like this and keep going like this. Geronimo. Here we are, ready to restart. Hey, I just wanted to round up this video and just show you where the jumper is at now. So I keep it, I find it very practical, I keep it like this, like a little bag, and the ball of yarn is inside. By the way, Brussels Queen of Yarn told me that this is a ball and not a cake, so I stand corrected. And this is where the jumper is at. I'll try to fold the collar so you can see how it is. So I have, it's a bit depressing because actually last time I showed you I had basically the same. I think I have 2 rows more than I showed you last time, except that I frogged all the white and then redid it, and then realized I was a bit distracted when I redid it, and instead of doing a normal row I did a row with increases and it was all of a mess. Also because I started right and then I changed in between, so then I was like, okay, frogged it all. Later on, did it again because I hadn't tracked properly on my little sheet of paper, so I did twice increases, and I was like, I'm not unraveling it once more, so I decided to just do twice not increase after that. So I hope it's gonna be fine. At some point I was like, I just need to keep moving because I've been knitting for what feels like so long, and in the end I have not much more progress than last time you saw. I mean, I haven't been knitting much the last few days, but you know, it's like really a drag when you knit and we're just at the same point as last time, but I still love the colors. I still think it looks beautiful. Very excited. Don't take a shot every time I said excited in this video because probably gonna be crazy. But yeah, this is where we are. And Brussels Queen of Yarn, Alizé, that's you. She actually gives workshops about the anatomy of a stitch, and I'm super keen to go. I mean, she knows because I already told her 3 times. The current one is fully booked, so I'm waiting for the next one, but I'm super excited because the mistake I had a few lines back where I had to unravel everything. I'm sure that if I understood what was happening, I could have saved it, but I couldn't save it because I don't have the understand of how a stitch works. And I really like to learn a lot on my own, but here I think it's a workshop that's going to be super, super useful, so I'm super excited. Also, it sounds like you're going to turn into a doctor. Anatomy of the stitch, so very, very excited for this. And if you're based in Brussels and you like knitting, you should wait for me to register first, and then you can also register because I think it's going to be a very good one. So yeah, that's all I have for you this week. I hope you're enjoying knitting along with me. I know I'm going very slowly compared to other knit tubers, and obviously, yeah, I have like this much of a jumper when normally people show you a new one every single video, but that's just not going to happen with me. I'm already proud of what I've done, but it's not going to move that fast. I'm starting not to believe anymore that I'm gonna have finished it for the end of April when the knit along is finished. But if I have a couple of stripes, I'm still going to feel like I made the stripes knit along. So hopefully a couple more stripes for the end of the month. I mean, we're still the start of April. Can still do this. We believe. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. Don't hesitate to like and subscribe if you want to come back here and knit and sew with me. And don't forget that you can make anything. Bye!